do you need to be a member of the ANC to serve? Okay, in parliament, yes, but to serve in the bureaucracy. And I wanted to give this definition for people that don't know. So you've got politicians who belong to political parties in this country. We're moving more towards independent candidates, hopefully. And then there's what we call civil servants, bureaucrats. These are people that work at the department. And to be fully honest, and this is why it's important to have this conversation, the politicians' campaigns sit and then are meant to devise policy, etc., etc. Then you speak about implementation. The people that are meant to be doing the work, the people collecting the bribes are traffic cops. The people that are not filling in the case, affidavit at the police station, the nurse who's being rude at a hospital, the lady at Home Affairs who's like, "Hi, mini system offline," and you can see, but Nadia Sebenza, and they're having 3-hour lunches. Those are not politicians. Those are bureaucrats. Those are civil servants, and those are the people that are actually meant to do the work. Yeah. So a bureaucrat is an official in a government department. In particular, one perceived as being concerned with procedural correctness at the expense of people's needs. So they're the people there. The other part I wanted to add was suppliers or tenderpreneurs, because that's also another leg. The politicians sit in parliaments or sit in structures. The civil servants who actually, the school teacher, you don't need to be in a political party to be a traffic cop, there's affiliations and cater deployment, these things, but essentially, if you just do a good job, you're meant to be placed. Then there's the suppliers, the people who supply the toilet paper, the people who, if there's a job somewhere that government cannot do because they're only meant to do policy, then these people come in and. So there's those three role players that I think ordinary South Africans need to understand and figure out where you want to sit. Sorry, back to the question. Did you need to be a member of the ANC to go and work so closely with the Minister of Transport? Let me put a note for after you answer.
That is such a critical point that you raise. The distinction between the categories that you've just highlighted now is so important, and I feel as though a lot of South Africans are not aware of those distinctions, because even in a department, like a Department of Transport, for example, you have the political office of the minister, right, with the political principle that's there. You then have the department itself, right, with the Director General as the nucleus and the various DDGs, etc., and then it flares out as per the organogram. And I think that's important for us to differentiate as well. I'm going to speak about the office of the political principal. That's where, you know, the minister comes with the spokesperson, with the PA, with the advisors, etc. And if a minister is recalled or removed for whatever reason, sihamba naye sonke, because your term there is linked to that particular principle.
So Nomsholozi would shuffle an entire group of people.
Sonke, everybody's shuffling, right? Sure. Unless the new minister who's coming in would say, okay, no, I actually like this PA, and the PA is not affiliated to the previous minister, it's like, I'll stay here with you, then that's fine, then you can do that. But usually your political appointees, which by the way are not hired the same as the ones who are in the department. So people are asking, did you fill out this form? So it's important for you to understand that. And I mean, look, if you want to debate the merits thereof and whether or not that needs to change as a policy, I'm here for that, right? But I think that's an important distinction. I don't think it is a common occurrence to have someone so close to a minister who is not a card-carrying member, or at least professing to be affiliated to the political party in any shape or form. I was not asked, are you an ANC member? I was sympathetic to the ANC. I had tried to join a branch years ago only because, you know, Tambo guys, you know, you're like Chief Albert Lutuli, we are there, you know, Walter Sisulu. You fall in love, and I think it's difficult to be a South African and say you had not at some stage been sympathetic to the cause of the ANC because of the rich history that they had. So I was one of those, but I was also very critical
But you were an ANC supporter at the time.
I was, not active. So not active, not in a branch.
Not vocal.
Not vocal, not active. And in fact, whenever they would go to any of the door-to-doors, etc., all my colleagues knew. It was not written anywhere and it was not communicated anywhere, but everybody knew you get to Ayanda the first flight back home at that point. So for example, if we've gone to the Western Cape and the business of the Department of Transport was done, and then now they were going to go on maybe the next day or whatever and do political work or constituency work, etc. That is where our paths crossed. And it's so funny because I'd never sat down to them and say, but they just knew. And I was also like, this is great that they know that. Sure. But so I came into that space with that understanding. And what I appreciated then is I was hired based on merit. But what is interesting is the fallout that created, which tells me that this was an anomaly.
Okay.
Right? Because when I arrived, there was an anonymous letter that was written by my comrades, or so it said in the byline. And this anonymous letter was lambasting this celebrity that had been brought into the Department of Transport. What does she know? She can't write. She can't communicate. She has barely even gone to a single BGM.
Sure. Which branch does she represent?
At least when you know that the BGM is a branch, I wrecked my brain for a good week and a bit trying to find what in the world, which year was that? Discuss the Income Science 101. What is it? Is it an affiliation? Is it like a postgrad? What is a BGM? I went to the teaching. I was like, I've Googled and researched and looked through all my notes. I have no idea what this BGM is that I need in order to be a good communicator and spokesperson. He's like, it's a branch general meeting. I was like, so you mean to tell me, to the standard that has been created for you to serve in a ministerial office is whether or not you had done it door to door, whether or not you had attended BGM, and that spoke to the culture. So that's the one part that we speak about. I personally did not have to subscribe, but the situation around my entry told me that you do need to somehow be affiliated in order for you to get that job. Then, I mean, we can speak about the civil servants. There are two, if not more, kinds of civil servants. Civil servants are not homogenous at all. And having
more
worked
big
with
English
them,
words, meaning they're not one big group that is the same.
Yeah, they're not the same, right? And I say this having worked with people in the department. You have those who are there because, you know, ANC fan ukuthi ithole indawo yokubeka ama-faithful wabo, you know, those who have served, you know, loyalty,
ANC loyalty rewards program,
patronage, benefactors, you know what I mean? We work sizokufaka man program. Then there are honestly those, and I don't know whether they are ANC members or not, I don't know, but there are those who know why they are there, those who know that they are there to serve, those who are able to say no to a bribe. Those who will tell you that we constantly come here, we're under-resourced, we're short-staffed, we don't have the tools of trade, but we will go the extra mile to get the job done. They are there, guys. They are there in Home Affairs, they are there in Transport, they are there in SAPS, they are there. They are there. They are the ones who will tell you, Uguti, there's corruption in such and such a place. Yeah. We're not going to do it. Sometimes the reason for underspending in any department is because someone refused to take part. Someone in supply chain is saying, Angsainila. I have friends who are in different parastatals who will say, my friend, so-and-so escalated the matter, so-and-so, and the reason why this tender is not getting signed and approved and the reason why the work is not being done is because I asked for them to put it in writing. You want me to sign this thing? Put it in writing. So because you're not putting it in writing, the project is stalled. You know, so they are there, guys. And shout out to the civil servants who know that they are serving the society and not politics and politicians.